Hello, everyone. Welcome to the demo of Agentic AI for Generator Interconnection Automation. My name is Zhang. I'm an industry specialist SA with AWS Energy and Utilities. So first of all, to easily find the demo, use the Gen AI demo portal with the URL demos.aiml.aws.dev. Under industry demos, find that energy and utilities category and switch over to that subtype for power utilities demo and use the first link to access our demo. And in order to start the live demo, use the blue button on the upper right corner, and you're going to bring it up. And before I go straight to the demo today, let me just provide you some background information about the problem as well as the solution overviews. And first of all, we need to understand what is generator interconnection. Generator interconnection is a sophisticated process that every new generator has to go through before they are allowed to integrate with a bulk power grid. It comprises many steps involving extensive manual reviews, time-consuming data exchanges, and multiple iterations between utilities, project developers, and system operators to assess grid impacts and determine necessary network upgrades. And a complete process cycle of this typically takes about 3 to 4 years. And the generator interconnection queue has a significant backlog, which imposes a pressing issue to the power industry because it is not just choking our clean energy's future, but also leading to a lack of plant generation capacity behind the demand growth, driven by electrification, explosion of needs for AI, and probably the reindustrialization in the US. And we've had over 2,600 gigawatt generator capacity in the interconnection queue since 2023. And clearing this backlog is estimated to complete in 2030, even we stop accepting new requests now. And you can see that many power utilities are under the impact of this pressing issue. And born out of the White House roundtable discussion on generative AI, in which AWS also participated, our vision is to leverage agentic AI to streamline the entire process through the reduction of handoff delays and elimination of back and forth iterations. And it also speeds up the interconnection study process using HPC. The idea is to break down the problem using divide and conquer approach and map them to a hierarchical multi-agent collaboration framework, as you can see on the right-hand side. And the top layer sits the supervised agent, which personifies that the interconnection manager's role, analyze user prompts, orchestrate task routes, and delegate tasks to the right scope specialized agents on the second layer. While this collaborator agents on the second layer tackles the challenging tasks such as application review, model validation, engineering analysis, and agreement creation, etc. And this solution boosts efficiency as multi-agents accelerate task execution and bridge gaps during step transitions through the collaboration. More importantly, this approach is scalable and can adapt to your evolving business needs. When your workflow complexity grows, you just need to add more task agents and associate them with a supervised agent. The extended scope of work will be handled automatically thanks to the chain of sorts and the reasoning capability of these agents. And through this agentic workflow to automate and optimize the interconnection process, our goal is to shorten the average time for new generator interconnection from 48 months down to 12 months, making the interconnection simpler and faster. And this is realized through accelerated interconnection study cycle and the streamlined pipeline with fewer human intervening and iterations. Okay, now let me switch over to the demo. So to log in the demo, use your Midway authentication. And this will bring you directly to the landing page. And the solution implements a streamlined one-stop shop approach to generator interconnection automation by breaking down the traditional complex process into intuitive automated stages. This user-friendly interface begins with the selection of the rows using the launch demo button. And this page represents a variety of stakeholders in the interconnection process, including applicant, reviewer, studier, and agreement creator. And the roles also correspond to the right scoped task agents were created in this demo solution, working behind the scenes for each of them. And first of all, let's begin with the applicant role. And the major responsibility of the applicant is to submit and track their interconnection request by uploading their documentations and ask questions about their applications. In this demo, we use that interconnection request application form from California ISOs as a template. And we fill it in with the mock data so we can create the various application portfolios, including the complete data set, incomplete data set, and the error data set. As you can see, this is a application document filling the mock data with a complete data set, which means that it has a complete checklist items with all the required field values provided with good values. While the error data set portfolio deliberately contains the data errors. For example, in this sample document, we deliberately filled in the wrong nominated voltage level, which will be detected by the agent, which validates that the point of interconnection against a knowledge base coming from that the ISO's allow list for the point of interconnection. So going back to the demo side, use the button New Application to submit your application. And you can just simply provide the name, for example, select the application type with a complete checklist, and hit the button to submit the application. And then you just need to wait for the validation to be performed by the agents automatically in the behind the scene. So when the project developers submit their applications by simply uploading their interconnection request documents to the platform, which we just done, application reviewer agents automatically validates the submission completeness by checking whether those required fields in the document have been provided with the values. And it also validates the proposed point of interconnection against the list provided by ISOs and RTOs. And the point of interconnection is usually comprised of the substation feeder's name combined with KV voltage information. As you can see, this is the application we just submitted, and it just completed that. It just passed that completeness test. And looking down on the page, you will see that the agent findings with a good summary about this document. And we're still waiting for the point of interconnection validation to be finished, which I just explained. It will run a rack process to validate whether the proposed point of interconnection in this project is in the allow list of this grid operators. Sometimes that the submitters will use a wrong substation or transmission line name or voltage demo which doesn't exist in the transmission system in their proposal, and that will be easily rejected by this automated interconnection automation process. Okay, now the submitted application has completed the two preliminary checks for completing the check and also that point of interconnection validation. And you should be able to see that we have both status flagged as complete and pass, right? And the overall status is still pending approval because we need to reserve that human oversight for the human reviewers to make the final decision whether to accept or reject this, application request based on their judgment. Okay, so from the reviewers row, you will see this pending application submission needs our attention to whether it's accepted or rejected. So this automation for the preliminary checks eliminates few weeks typically spent in the application review stage in the realistic generator interconnection process, and reduce that the back and forth communications unnecessarily needed in this process. And once the application passes the preliminary validations, the agent then can intelligently extract the critical project information from the submitted documents, structuring it into a standardized format, for example, in JSON, in CSV, or XML format for future processing. Key details such as request date, field type, point of interconnection, desired net megawatt capacity, project locations in terms of its GPS coordinates, and the proposed in-service date are automatically passed and validated. And this structured approach ensures consistency and eliminates human errors in data interpretation. And in this step, reviewer can be also repowered by agents to perform more advanced tasks. For example, they can interpret the transient stability assessment results by utilizing the agent's visual perception, reasoning, and the summarization capability of the underlying foundation model. The agent can be invoked to analyze that the stability performance analyze that by analyzing the stability plots and identify the critical characteristics like oscillation amplitude, duration, frequency, and the decay rate, and suggest specific mitigation measures such as the power system stabilizers tuning or the installation of the flexible AC transmission system devices. And you just observe that we clicked that prompt card to assess the model performance and the point of interconnection by analyzing this uploaded stability plots provided by the application requester. And you can see this is what the agent just returned to us with the key findings and whether the transient stability analysis has reviewed anything, any concerns for the reviewers, and what to is invoked to perform these tasks already. And it also summarized that whether this bump test for the stability performance analysis shows any issues and what measures should be taken to mitigate this issue. And note that such advanced analysis can be done without the need to fine-tune or retrain the foundation models. And in this demo, we're using that Cloth 3.7 solid model to use its advanced visual perception capability to get the directed findings from the stability plots. So in accordance with AWS's responsible AI principles, the solution incorporates human oversight as a critical control point, as already explained. After the agents complete their review process, the human reviewers maintain the final decision-making authority, allowing them to examine the results and make informed decisions to either approve or reject the application. So now I'm going to accept this application submission, which I just submitted from the applicant portal. And once I did this step, it will be automatically moved over to the studies pocket, waiting for the start of the study cycle. So now, if we switch over to the studiers portal, you should be able to see this new application request, which just be flagged for ready for study. And obviously, this hasn't been started yet because we just moved over this application from the last stage to the study stage. And a particular innovative aspect of this solution is handling of the technical assessments, also known as interconnection study. And as you can see here, you can use that as study agents to launch a study for the application request, and or get the insights for the study testers if it is encounters any errors. What is the reason for causing for that failure of the study wrong. And once that the study is completed, you can easily get the study report from that the completed rounds, and or you can also list all the historical rounds, to compare that the different version of the submissions. And when studying a new round, a workflow that mimic that realistic interconnection study is triggered in the AWS step functions. The workflow can be empowered by HPC to accelerate those completed engineering study tasks. As you can see that the execution is in process. If we amplify it a little bit, you can see that this state machine is comprised of a number of the study steps, from data initialization, model building, model validation, to the three-phase engineering studies for interconnections study, from feasibility study, short circuit study, or system impact study, to that the facility study. And it will also calculate that cost allocation details, which will identify that the responsibility of each project requesters, how that the cost associated with the necessary network upgrade shall be split among these project requesters, and this will be incorporated into a agreement later on, communicated with that stakeholders, including the project requester as well as the utilities who oversees this interconnection requests. And finally, it will going to generate a study report in plain language, summarizing that findings from these engineering studies, and save the results to a S3 bucket. And once this study run is completed, we can also use that the agents to get that study report back. And let's just wait it for completed. Okay, now it's already done, and we should be able to use that as a retrieve study report prompt to get that the report done from this the agent backend to the front end. And you can see this is what we just retrieved from the study report with 8 of the agents. And it shows you that the key findings, no network upgrade investment is required for this project. And because the bus voltage are always in that acceptable range, and the branch power flows are within the line limit, and so on and so forth. And this is definitely coming from that the engineering studies we run in the step function workflows and summarized by the study agents with the use of this corresponding tools, right? So it should be noted that this workflow, even though it's predefined right now, it can be also dynamically generated with that the user prompts through the generative AI agents. In the future, we're going to make this workflow generation automatically and generatively based on that the specific project requirements and the user's request. And this is definitely very promising in the realistic interconnection process because this once the restudy and the withdrawal of the interconnection request has happened, you have to truncate this study workflow a little bit in order to accommodate that the requirement changes. Okay. And lastly, the solution can also handle that the complex document generation and stakeholder interactions in the agreement negotiation phase. And this is what we can do with the agreement creator agent. This agent automatically incorporates cost allocation details into standardized templates while maintaining the flexibility to address the project specific requirements. And it can also manage the communication workflows through composing and sending emails with agreements as attachment, tracking the user responses and managing different versions. So now let's use that. Let me show you how to use this prompt card to generate a draft agreement. With that, the cost allocation details, which we just retrieved from the engineering study report in the last step, into the standardized agreement template, and finally carved out a official interconnection agreement. And now the agent is running in the backend. Basically you can see what tools has been invoked to perform this step. And the process basically generated as the markdown files from a template which we used to generate this interconnection agreement. And it also merges that with the cost allocation details coming from the study reports. And finally, it will convert that the markdowns to the PDF documents. So we can use that this second button to quickly review that the draft agreement with that cost allocation numbers included, which show you that the very specific project requirements and the cost shares among that the project requesters and the cost allocation method used in this calculation. And if you feel satisfied with this agreement document, you can use that the third prompt to email it to your requesters or other stakeholders which I just done, basically followed the questions from the agents. So in this demo, the end-to-end automation transforms what was once a fragmented, multi-month process involving numerous departments and stakeholders into a streamlined, transparent workflow that can be monitored and managed through a consolidated interface. The solution maintains a clear visibility into each stage of the process, allowing stakeholders to track process in real time and receive the immediate updates on their interconnection request. And this is pretty much about our demo as of today. And with the release of the agent core service, we're also going to reinvent this solution using the scalable and reliable agent core framework. And if you're interested in to implement or deploy this proof of concept solution for your customer or partners, please feel free to reach out to me or other developers in this team. I will put their contact information in this demo as well. So with that, I would like to thank you for your watching, and you have a nice day.